just me in my snuddy again. I'm not gonna change into a different hoodie just to, you know, pretend that I don't wear this like every second of the day, because I do. But yeah, I am all ready underneath. Got my little, what is this? This is my Team Evo top, I think. Yeah, ready to go and train upper body today. It is Monday, it's Christmas week, and I am actually gonna do a full day of eating as a Christmas present to you guys, because I have not done one really this off season. Since like I was on 400 grams of carbs a while back. I'm on 475 now. So since my last video, we had another bump in food. I was on 440 and we've just bumped it up by 35 grams of carbs. So quite a big jump in a way. Tom tends to favour kind of like 25 gram jumps, but we've gone 35 grams this time. And yeah, that just takes my training day calories now to like 2,960. So yeah, we're on 475 carbs, 40 fats and 160 protein. So yeah, I'm going to show you full day of eating, how I hit that amount of carbs, obviously with the low fats as well. So your meals have got to be quite like carb dense, not like adding fats at the same time. So it's like I can't just have like 5 squares bars, for example. But I am currently cooking off potatoes, as I pretty much eat potatoes most of the time, and I've got 600 grams on the boil right now. I'm gonna have 300 now, and as per, you know, previous videos, you will know that I like always cook off chicken in advance. So in here I've got a 100 gram portion and a 120 gram portion. What are we gonna do today? Actually, I think that might be 150 grams. It looks like 150 grams. I did one portion of 150, 2 of 120 and 2 of 100. I'm gonna stick with 100 because I am that person who hits protein like really easily. So I kind of need to like just be careful at the beginning of the day. Otherwise I get to the end of the day and I'm like, oh dear, especially because I just tend to favour like having bagels. Like when my carbs got upped on Friday, I had like 4 bagels in that day. And obviously that bagel's a fair amount of protein. Oats have protein in, you know, and like I have Marmite on my bagels as well, and that's like half, it's kind of like half protein, half carbs in terms of the macros of that. So I tend to get protein in quite easily. So yeah, I'll go for the 100 grams of chicken. I'll save this 150 for another time, probably later, when I have my second potato and chicken meal. So pretty much have 2 potato meals a day. You know, my appetite's quite big again at the moment, and potatoes fill me up. And yeah, obviously they're vitamins, you know, it's the actual nutrition profile of potatoes is pretty damn good. So I feel like I'm eating some good amongst all the kind of like squares bars and bagels and whatever else I eat. So yeah, I go for my potato meals. I'm gonna have that now because I'm actually real hungry. It's like 22 minutes past 11 and I'm pointing at it but you can't see. Not that you need to, but there you go. 22 minutes past 11 and I've only eaten 1 meal today, which was my oats in the morning, and then I've just kind of gone through all my client check-ins now, and that's what I do every day before I go and train. So I'm gonna eat this meal and then I'm gonna go and do my little pre-workout walk, which I always do around the block, and then I'm gonna actually go across the road to the gym. And I need to mention that I did big fat deadlift PB yesterday. So I moved like 140 kilos for 4 reps, which was absolutely incredible. So I've only ever moved like 115 kilos in my life, but I hadn't deadlifted in so long. And because I'm so bored of like training at the moment, like 5 times a week in the same environment, I just needed something different, like from the block that I've been running for months. So I just wanted like a fun session. Went to Ultraflex Leeds with my sister and yeah, hit this PB. So I'm actually gonna go right now to that session and I'm gonna do one of the classic voiceovers because I know you guys enjoy it, just talking you through kind of like, you know, an off the cuff kind of leg day when you just go in and what exercises I choose and why. So I'll take you there now and then we'll come back to the present day. So started off straight away with adductors. So having thick adductors and closing that thigh gap is really important for the figure girls, you know, especially in the front relaxed pose, and the back pose as well, to be fair. So started the session with adductors, which I would do at Altered Image anyway, but this machine is particularly nice and, you know, it's a lot heavier than the Altered Image one, so it was good to start with that. Second exercise in, I wanted to have a go on the hammer strength single leg curl. Just really like this machine, used to use it a lot, so it was nice to kind of give it a go again. And obviously, you know, my rear shot for me is a weakness. It's never been really particularly good. My hamstrings are certainly a lot less developed than my quads, so I'm really kind of working on hamstrings a lot at the moment. So I'll definitely always incorporate them into a leg day, as well as my glutes and hamstring session that I do separately within the week. So yeah, it was nice to get this, you know, get a really good connection with the hamstrings, focus on keeping the hip like, driving into the pad. So, you know, making sure that the hamstrings do all the work and you're not kind of ending up pulling through the lower back in any way. So that was what I was thinking about when I was doing this. So obviously hamstrings fried, then move on to leg extensions. I literally do this in altered image, to be fair. Adductors, leg curl, leg extensions before I then move on to any compound. So yeah, this is just the natural kind of easy, makes sense order of any leg session, to be fair. But yeah, really enjoyed being back on this hammer strength leg curl. It felt really good compared to the Cybex that I use at Altered Image. It means that I can just really get a squeeze at the top, which I actually struggle with on the Cybex. So yeah, I enjoyed being able to, my quads were rinsed after this. So I fully felt them when I was leg pressing later on in the session, which you'll see next up. But yeah, really happy with these. Obviously, I've got to sit really far forward on the seat. I can't reach the handles either because I'm short. But, you know, you've got to do what you've got to do when you're short. And I made it work for me. And yeah, felt really good. So happy with it. So next moved on to deadlift, which obviously you've seen that top set already. The 140 for 4, which was epic. Backed off with 120 for 6 as well. So yeah, loads stronger than I've ever been on deadlifts. And then after that, moved on to the hammer strength leg press. Again, I've not used this machine in ages, but I used to build it up when I was training at Ultraflex more regularly. So yeah, I left this on 6 plates aside, which is what I'm doing here. This is the back offset though. So I think I got 10 reps here. And the top set I did was 7 plates aside and I got 8 reps. So yeah, I was really pleased as well. It's great when you haven't been to a gym in a while. And you sort of, I'm someone that cares about numbers, so like I'll sort of have the numbers in my head still, remember them. And it's nice when you go back to the same gym and you've clearly made a lot of strength progressions. So yeah, it was good to get on this machine again. I felt like the reps were really smooth as well. It moved really nicely, you know, good control, no kind of like caving in of the knees, which you see a lot of people do on a leg press. So yeah, I was really happy with this. And last but not least, we just wanted something to finish off the glutes. And how could I not use the new version Nautilus glute drive when I'm at Ultraflex? Because, yeah, we don't have a glute drive at Altered Image yet. So, yeah, it was really nice to use this again. I've just got the blocks there for my feet to get a better range of motion. Again, just with being short, with my feet just on the platform as it is, range of motion's not great. So the blocks just mean that I can get down a little bit deeper and it's great. Back to present day. Hope you enjoyed that voiceover. Have just got back from training upper body and it went really nicely, considering I was a little bit worried about hitting back after deadlifts yesterday. Felt fine, I was repped up on everything. I even took the 30 kg dumbbells for a spin. I had a little goal of moving the 30s before Christmas, and whilst the depth wasn't like amazing, I was skipping because I've been like at 26s for the last couple of weeks. So I just kind of skipped the 28s and went straight to the 30s. So just to move them at all, just to tick that little silly goal off was great. We're at that point in the off season right now where I'm really enjoying getting strong on free weights movements because they'll be the first thing to come out of my plan when prep starts. But yes, before I went to train, I picked up some bagels, £1.90 nowadays. But it is what it is. So I got these on my little pre-workout walk. So pretty much the first thing I'm going to do post-session is just fast carbs. So have one of these with some Marmite. So I mentioned Marmite earlier. I could have like easily 2, maybe sometimes 3 Marmite bagels a day. Ta-da! So I go through a lot of Marmite. I think I bought this like, I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, I bought it like a week ago and it's like towards the end of the tub now. So yeah, I'm gonna have a Marmite bagel and then move on to my cereal. And that's just like smashing in loads of fat fasting carbs as soon as I've trained. So, just got back from afternoon steps. That's my 9,000 boxed off, which means I don't have to leave the house again today, which is great. Because it's 10 to 4. I like to get my steps all done before it goes dark, preferably, if I can. So I make sure I get out not really much later than 3:15, 3:30. And then I get my steps in. So it's slightly built an appetite, which is good because I was definitely not feeling hungry before I set off. And so what I'm going to do, time for a squares bar. I will more than likely have 2 of these today. So this is going to be the first one. So palatable. And after this, it'll probably trigger more of an appetite. I think sometimes when you're not feeling as hungry, palatable things help to just like if I eat this, I'll then want to probably have like a jam bagel or something, and then I'll have easily got in like a lot more carbs. So I'm gonna have this. I've also just boiled the kettle, have a decaf coffee with it. I'm a dunker. I like to dunk, so I'll be dunking upstairs now, doing a little bit more client work, and I'll catch you in a bit. About to have a jam bagel that I definitely don't want. It's 20 to 5. Yeah, I'm not hungry, but I'm also just, this is the thing, you see, and this is the mistake people make, like, of waiting to be hungry. Like when food's quite high, like, you know, for me, 3,000 calories is a lot of food. Like you can't wait to be hungry. That's the mistake people make. And then you get to the end of the day and you've got loads of food left. So yeah, like you've just got to keep eating like throughout the day. Otherwise you will be like force feeding before bed, and that is absolutely vile. And there's nothing worse than going to stomach on a full bed. Can you tell I'm tired today? Can you tell I didn't sleep that well last night? There's nothing worse than going to bed on a full stomach. And you haven't really digested the food properly. So yes, we're not going to do that today. We're going to get this bagel down. I was trying to work out the macros, but it's not transferring across to this phone, which is annoying. Aha, right, we've just updated now, finally. I don't know how all this technology works, but I'll track on one phone, and then later on I'll go on the other phone to continue tracking, and I just hope that the MyFitnessPal's kind of synced across on both devices. Don't ask me how. Loads of my apps do that, like Instagram and stuff. Like, obviously some apps don't. So now I've just tracked in 1 sesame bagel with 20 grams of jam. That brings my totals to 1,588. So I've still got like 1,400 calories left. So, you know what I mean? That's just what I mean. I need to keep getting on. I've done 249 grams of carbs so far, and you know I've got 475, so I've got loads more to get in. This is why I'm just having this anyway, even though I'm not hungry. And yeah, protein's at 100, fats are at 17, so I've got loads of wiggle room with fats still, which is great. So I'm going to force this down now, do a bit more work, and I'll catch you in a bit. Okay, so generally speaking, now that it's 5:30, this is kind of the time of day where I'll sit down and I'll work out the rest of my macros for the day. So I'm kind of just tracking in, like, track as I go for like half the day. Like with food being so high, you can get away with doing that because you know you're not going to go over anything. There's still going to be plenty of each bloody macro left. So yeah, and pretty much I eat the same things every day, just in different quantities depending on hunger, depending on what I'm doing and things like that. So, you know, like I'll have the potato meals, I'll have the bagels, I'll have the squares bars, and it's just kind of like varying quantities and things like that. So, and I'll always have a pre-bed oats. So I've tracked that in for tonight. I'll be having 60 grams of oats tonight. And then the way that I am managing to get my carbs in now that they're higher is adding like raisins and dried apricots to my oats. So I've had that this morning in my oats, and I'll be doing that again tonight. That really helps. I'm going to go and snack on some apricots now as well. So for snacks and stuff between now and me having like 300 grams of potatoes again and some chicken and then a bowl of oats. So from 5:30 now until I then go and sit and have the potato meal in about 2 hours bloody time, I'm also going to consume a squares bar, a saurine, and a peanut butter bagel and 40 grams of apricots. So yeah, I feel like I was smug earlier when I said my appetite was back. It's because I was like due on my period, which I still bloody am. I was due on the 16th and it's the 19th now. So I was actually ravenous last week. But yeah, now I'm back to where I was, which is like not like as bad as it was like the other week when I had no appetite, but it's still like, it is a lot of food to get into one day. It just is, like, that's just a fact. Like 3,000 calories when you are like 5 foot tall, it's quite a lot of food. And obviously my movements, you know, I just have the 9,000 steps. I'm not doing any cardio on my training days either or anything like this. So it's like just quite minimal movement, I would say. Just a couple of short walks, and then just, yeah, the training session, and then just cramming in the 3,000 calories. So yeah, and it's just carbs, glorious carbs. So I'm actually glad that I am resting tomorrow. Tomorrow's a rest day, always a vibe. So rest day carbs have been put up to 200 now, which is the highest they've been in a long, long time. So they were 155 and then they were like 170. And yeah, now they're like 200. So they got bumped by 30 on the check-in as well. So carbs got up by 35 and on a training day, and they got up by 30 on a rest day. So that'll be fun tomorrow, just to kind of have like a bit more carbs. I could maybe even like just have a larger portion of, say, in the evening when I have like my burger meal with potatoes, I might have like more potatoes, or I might have a bun with it, you know, that kind of thing. So we'll see how I feel. I might have a squares bar, which would be rare on a rest day for me. So yeah, see how it goes. But this was just the training day, full day of eating. So yeah, and just showing you guys what it's kind of like when you're at the back end of off season and you're not really hungry and you just have all this food to eat, and you just kind of like, I don't really have a desire to go and eat anything more now. I didn't have a desire to have the bagel that I had half an hour ago, but you've just got to keep eating. Like, that's just the way it is. And obviously, like, for me to have like a squares and a saurine, easier to get down, a little handful of apricots, and another, like a peanut butter bagel is like very tasty, let's be honest. So things like that are really helping me at the moment. If it gets any harder, like, I can always look at fruit juices as well, which will help just drink your calories, or even like you know, carb drinks and stuff like that. Something that I could sample. Obviously I could, in my next month's order from Impact, my sponsor, I could ask them to maybe send me some, like, because it's something I've never really had before, so it'd be a cool product to like try. If I could say, oh, like I could have a carb powder or whatever these big people that need lots of calories tend to drink. I've never been really at a position where I've needed like to like drink my carbs, just because like last off season, like the way my old coach did it was like I was actually having like a cookie and muffin every day. Easy calories, but shit calories. Whereas now, like, I don't want them to be shit. Like, as shit as I will go is like having saurines and squares. But yeah, I wouldn't want like the quality of food to get shitter than that, if that makes sense. Like processed foods, I don't want like too much processed foods in my diet. Yeah, I could probably have more whole foods. I could probably have more rice meals and stuff. But I honestly wouldn't stomach that much savoury, heavy, dense foods. Like, each to their own. But that's just not going to work for me. Like, you know, get down a couple of potato meals, and then if I can just get the rest of it now from like bagels and stuff like that, then yeah, I'm good. So I'm gonna go and have those snacks now. I'll see you in a bit. Me no want the snacks. Guys, this is why I've avoided a full day of eating, because most of the time I'm just like this, and I don't think this is very inspiring to people. What not to do when your carbs are high. Fucking like, yeah, Jesus Christ. I feel like I have such peaks and troughs with my appetite that like I've never fully committed to like, now I need to move towards like, you know, liquid carbs and stuff. I've always been like, oh, but sometimes I'm really hungry and I want all this food. And so I've never really fully, yeah. I'm going to watch this video again in like 2 weeks' time when it's time to make my next Impact order. Remind me, can you all remind me, like at the start of like January, Emily, get some carb powder because you don't like eating loads of shit. So this, and then the apricots. Asda's finest. Me no like it, me no want it. 40 grams of apricots. and then a peanut butter bagel. I'm going to watch this video when I'm on prep, and I'm going to like shoot me when I'm really starving and I can't even fit any bagels into my day. And I'm here about to have my third bagel of the day with a second square bar and a saurine and loads of apricots. I'm going to shoot myself, aren't I? Guys, this is why I've avoided doing a full day of eating. Now you know, the secret's out, can't handle it. I didn't want you guys to watch and just see like how much I hate food. I don't know, I just thought maybe it's off-putting. But here we are, here's the reality. Yeah, I spoke to one of Tom's clients, Shelley, the other week, and she was telling me about when she was on like, I'm not sure what it was now, 500 carbs or something. And I'm like, I'm obviously near to that. And she was just saying, yeah, like you just eat. Like, you don't want to eat, but you eat. And I'm like, yeah, you know, she was like, you just do it. Like the same way on prep, that you just stay hungry and you just don't eat. It's like, these are the extremes of bodybuilding, I suppose. It seems crazy to anyone else that doesn't do the sport as such, but it is necessary to be doing this. Like, it is, like, food is very anabolic at the end of the day. Like, that is almost where you're going to get the most, you know, the most out of your training. Your performance is by eating. So yeah, just gotta do it. Obviously I'm happy that I've managed to reach 3,000 calories, because, you know, I was worried that I wouldn't get there. I had a weird target in my head. I was like, I want to at least get up to 3,000 calories, you know, because I want a decent number to pull from when we start to diet down. And that, to me, would be a decent number. Yeah. So, like, you know, I wouldn't want to think that I was like 2,500, for example, and then we pull 500 calories off the start of prep, and it's like we're at 2,000 already, and like I've just started prep, you know what I mean? So I wanted it to be a higher number. I wanted my body to finally start responding, because, you know, at the start of the year when we upped food to 2,600 and I was just gaining like a pound or two a week, and I gained, you know, like a stone in about 10 weeks, and I just looked shit. And that was really disheartening, and we had to pull food back. But now my body's actually receiving the food and responding to the food, and I'm not gaining weight on this amount of food. So it's like, it's great, but it's just sometimes some of the days like today are hard. Like I feel like my cheeks honestly feel like, it's like if you've ever done a show and you've then like kind of had a bit of a post-show, like, I don't want to say binge because I hate that binge, it's not a binge, but when you like eat a load of food after your show, like cookies and stuff, and that feeling you get in your cheeks when you can like almost like feel like the carbs. Does anyone know what I mean? Comment below. But yeah, that's how I feel today, just like big, thick, full cheeks, bloated basically, just from eating all this. So yeah, but it is what it is. Some days are better than others. Today was just a harder day. I'm definitely going to get some of that HR Labs Eat Up from my sponsor for next month, because yeah, I just don't want to be like this every day. Like if I have a day like today, I want to just be able to drink my carbs. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do, because this is getting silly. And yeah, that's it, guys. I'm going to leave the video here. I don't want to film any more of my food, to be quite honest. I think I've done a good job. You don't need to see what my oats look like. It's a bowl of oats with some apricots on top and some chocolate spread and some raisins. It's oats. And my potatoes is a bowl of potatoes with a bit of chicken on the side. That's it. That's what I'm going to eat tonight. I'm cramming in the food, guys. You know, we've got 10 weeks left till prep starts now, so it is what it is. And on the same vein, training's obviously like mega at the moment, so sorry, does anyone do that with sesame seeds? But yeah, training's mega at the moment, so yeah, I'm not actually feeling too sluggish. I'm feeling quite powerful, so yeah, but I'm not necessarily enjoying all this food, and I'm going to enjoy watching this video back when I'm starving on prep. So yeah, that was the full day of eating, guys. You know, how many people have you seen showing the struggles of off season? Because I've put it off because I felt like I seemed like a knob for saying how hard it is to eat, but I'm struggling. So there we go. I'll leave it here. Merry Christmas. Have an amazing Christmas. Obviously, I'll be back post-Christmas for more videos. We'll be going into prep imminently. So I look forward to documenting all that next year. 2023 is going to be absolutely mega. Thank you to everyone who's followed me along in 2022, because obviously I've not been prepping. It's not been as exciting to watch along. So those of you that have, I massively appreciate it. Next year is going to be another level. So yay. And that's it. I'll see you next year probably. And thank you for watching. Please do like the video. It really does help. It's the only way that the YouTube algorithm works. Like the video. Subscribe if you are new. And yeah, I'll see you next year. Ciao for now.